Hello everybody. Hello YouTube. I'm going to do something different today. I have on my stereo, computer, equipment, everything I use, everything's connected to my TV, and I have this equalizer. Now it's not, you don't see the graphic analyzer going right now because there's no music or anything playing. So I have this equalizer, and here you have this button. It's an enhancer. Lights on. So this is what happened. I decided. Well, first of all, I got a video for you today that's going to be different than anything I've ever done. Not like that silly unboxing on my microwave, but instead, I've got an identical equalizer that stopped working for a friend of mine. Actually, she had it stored away for a long time. We tested it, and it didn't power on. Turns out that the part of it was getting power, but the main part wasn't. So I said, you know, we were going to trash it, but you know what? Let me take it home and open it up. I have some soldering skills and whatnot. So I opened it up and I found the problem, and it was a bad solder connection on the PC board. So I'm going to, I already did this, but I opened it up, I left it open. So what I decided to do was, before I closed it back up, I decided I wanted to show you. So let me go over there. I'm going to put this microphone over here. I'm going to bring the camera over. And I got a long cord on this camera. Just be careful not to pull the wire. Let me leave it there for a second and turn on the light. Let me go over and untangle the cord for the camera. It's not exactly tangled, it's just sort of folded up. The microphone is sort of tangled up in there with it. So let me go ahead and undo that. I'm trying to make this video small, and this tangling up of the wires is getting a little crazy. Alright, so I don't know if I can put this microphone anywhere. I'm going to have to put it on this chair or this stool. As close as I can get it. Well, I'm going to have to talk a little louder, even though it's after midnight. So anyway, here's the equalizer. Let me just carefully bring this camera over. So here it is, all opened up. I'm going to try and put this camera down without putting it inside the toolbox. I'm going to go over to the TV and turn it so I can see what's going on. Alright, so I had to dismantle everything. I had to let me see if I can get it a little bit closer. And alright, maybe I could even put it down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so in order for me to get at the PC board, I had to dismantle the entire thing. Face, everything, every screw is out. Every screw is out. See all those screws there? I had to literally dismantle the entire chassis, and then I had to take this PC board, this small piece, which the enhancer is on, and then I had to basically unscrew everything. So here was the problem. Let me see if I can. I'm looking at the TV from a long distance. I don't know if I'm actually showing you this right. I don't know if I'm talking loud enough. So in order for me to get this PC board out, I had to literally dismantle everything. And what I did was I turned this upside down. Now luckily for me, there was no problem with any of these chips, because if these had any problems, if there was anything burnt out here, I wasn't going to bother. I was just going to trash it. But it was a simple soldering job. So let me just move this out of the way carefully and turn this. I can't turn it. I had it before. I know what I did. I think what I did was I took, there it is. Okay, there it is. So very carefully, and I'm not being very careful. So this is the wire. Let me put this camera just a little higher. So this is the wire that was plugged into this. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. It's hard for me to see whether or not I'm actually showing you this properly. This connector here is where this wire goes into, this plug, which powers, if you follow the wire, it powers the main LEDs in the rest of the equalizer. This was the connection. I don't know if you can see that. If I could just pick up, I'm picking up the entire tripod. Oh, let me turn that again. It's a little loose. Let me just tighten it. So I'm going to pick up this entire tripod. And I'm having trouble doing that. I know this is a strange video, but I'm going to pick up this entire tripod and I'm going to show you. Okay, there it is, right there. This plug, which is where the power supply goes into. Okay. Oh, this is going to have to be tightened. So this is the power. This is the transformer, and that goes to the power supply. This is the power supply section. This is the power supply section. Okay. So these plugs come from the transformer to go from the transformer to go into the PC board, which then goes into the power supply. So on the bottom of the PC board, which I'm going to show you, this plug is soldered into the PC board, and that was the problem. So what I did was, this was all plugged in, and I didn't take it apart yet. I only had the cover off, and I just went in there and started pushing a little wire here and there to try and see if the lights would come on. And sure enough, when I touched this, the lights came on. So I said, we have a simple PC board soldering problem here. I thought maybe it was a broken wire or something, but it was a PC board problem. So I'm going to now turn this over. Try to be careful. I kind of like locked it up here. What did I do? Okay. I'm turning it over carefully. Okay. So I had it over like this, and that plug is here. And I'm going to pick up the camera again and try to do that again. Okay, so this is the solder connection, which I resoldered. Okay. You know, it doesn't look like much, you probably don't realize it, but there it is. I resoldered that. That plug was literally loose inside the PC board, and it wasn't making connection unless I touched it. So I resoldered that. Okay. But before I turned it back over, I told my friend that this equalizer had been worked on once before. You see that? somebody with an overheated soldering iron also soldered this. So I told her that it is possible that this was one of the, you ever buy something from a store? I hope you can hear me well. You ever buy something from a store and it stops working or it's not working right, and you send it back to them and they send it back to you repaired? I think that this is one of those things that should have failed quality control, and it probably went back a couple of times, and like I said, it should have failed quality control, but it went into the store and it's been worked on twice. Now I worked on it. So all it was that. The cool thing is that putting it back together is actually the hard part. So I'm going to go ahead and put this carefully like this. I'm going to put it in the buttons into the slots, and I'm going to turn this over and sort of get it pseudo ready to screw back together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to put the screws back in while it's on pause, so that you don't have to watch me take an hour, because this video is already long enough. You don't have to watch me take over an hour to try and put it back together again, because like I said, every screw is out, and I hope I remember where every screw went. And I'm just going to sort of set it up so that it looks like it's getting ready to go back together. So I'm going to put it back together only to the point where the ground wire is connected again. For example, where is that wire? Here it is. This was on here. Oops, sorry, you can't see that. This was on here. I'm not going to put the camera over there to show you. There's a screw that goes into there and into the chassis. These wires were tied with a wire tie. So we have to put that back together before we can turn this thing back on. So let me see if I can situate it before I pause the camera. It's not as easy as you might think, because it was a very big job trying to manipulate this to try and get it open enough so I can go and solder. This is not very conducive to. Okay, we gotta get these. The RCA jacks for the connections are in the back, and they go through these holes. So it was like I said, it was kind of a major job to get this thing to work right. I'm trying to get this. So anyway, luckily for me and lucky for my friend, this was not a thing where I had to go buy a part or anything like that, because quite frankly, I'm not doing it anymore. I don't deal with chips and stuff like that. I don't really have the tools to remove the chips and whatnot. But when it came to this thing, it was a simple, bad solder on the PC board connection on one of the plugs. And just what is holding this thing? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and get this thing working right, so I can stop talking at the same time I'm trying to work. And when I get it to the point where it's partially put back together enough to plug in, I can show you that it actually does work now. And if it doesn't, you'll find out. I'm going to the computer and putting it on pause. Okay, I think it stopped. Let me make sure. Okay, yes. Okay. I unpaused it, and you can see the equalizer upside down because I just finished putting all the chassis screws in. That was the one under my feet, these two, this one, and the sides. I got the PC board in, and the buttons through the holes. And we've got one more screw to put in, and we'll be able to plug it in and see if it goes up in smoke. And we'll, okay, this is one screw left, and that is for that wire that was grounded to this part. Use the other screwdriver. Okay. Just give the other ones a quick tightening check. Okay. That's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Now. Alright, so let me see if I can point the camera to the front of the LEDs, and we'll plug it in and make sure it comes on. Let's get the equalizer tube approximately in the middle here. Everything is off. Okay. Alright, let me, oh, you know what? I cut this wire tie off of this. Let me go ahead and replace that wire tie. A little tiny one will be fine. I'm going to leave it with the wires all dangling, but really, I don't think it was much of a problem anyway. I'm not going to make it real tight. I'm just going to kind of tie them up the way they had it. And let me get my little snippers to cut the string off. Here we go. Okay, now let's see. I actually had to use a second pair of cheap reading glasses just to get the view of the small soldering. Yeah, I'll that's my hands-free magnifiers. Okay, so let me see if I can turn this in order for you to see the face of it. And bring the camera down. Tighten this up so I couldn't turn it. Alright, let's go ahead and bring it even closer. I might even be able to tilt it up for you. Let's see, how about if I put the box of precision screwdrivers under it. Now you can see it. Now, okay, I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. We ready? Here's the power button. I'll be damned. It did not come on. That still comes on. I went through all of that. Oh, how stupid of me. Forgot to plug the thing back in. It would help. I pulled it out to do the soldering, and I gotta put it back in. Let me go ahead and unplug it. forgot to put this, forgot to plug this back in. That would help. Okay, that felt like it went in. And it looks like it went in. Okay, let's plug it back in. And now, one more time. Ta-da! I'll be damned. Look at that. I suppose I could go get my MP3 player and plug it into this thing and see if the bars work. That might be a good idea. I'll tell you what, I'll pause it and I'll see if I can do that. If I can't find my MP3 player right away, I'll just end the video. Okay, I'm going to pause it. And okay, well, I found the MP3 player right away. So what we're going to do, now we're not going to hear it because I don't have any amplifier connected to it or anything, but we're going to be able to see it. Let's just go ahead and plug this into the main input. And my MP3 player, my little oldie but goodie MP3 player. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Let's turn this up. That's the display. Okay. Music. Doesn't matter what's playing, I don't care. And it looks like it's some. Okay, we're going to turn the volume up. I don't see it yet. I'm going to turn the volume up. There we go. Ta-da! Isn't that a beautiful thing? Now all I need to do is connect an amplifier to it so I can hear what's going on. And there you have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my repair of an old school equalizer video, and I'm sorry you didn't get to see me do the actual soldering, but I think the video was already too long, so I'm going to walk over to the, actually I'm going to take the camera with me. I'm going to walk over to the computer.